out there, Academia friends and fans all over the world. Thanks for joining us here on our special family episode of Academia Live in the kitchen with David and Joe. And we're going to make a favorite family dinner if you grew up in Central Texas. Probably had no shortage of chicken fried steak. What about North Texas, Joe? You're a North? No, not so much.
No, we got sold out.
At least here in the Hill Country, we love a good chicken fried steak. Usually a little cutlet, breaded, pan fried, and then we also have the classic fixins for the chicken fried steak. At least in my book, mashed potatoes and green beans.
Yep.
I love the chicken fried steak at my family's house, but we're actually using a friend of ours recipe that he taught us from his mom. And so we're going to do classic chicken fried steak and washing it down with a delicious extra añejo Manhattan that Joe made. So I guess we're going to drink some tequila.
I got the easy part.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the mashed potatoes and green beans.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, well, I'm going to get started seasoning the meat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seasoned meat.
We're actually going to try two different preparations. I've got these beef cutlets that I got from a local ranch called Shirt-Tailed Creek, and then I've got these some flank steak from the same ranch. So we're going to try two different cuts and see how it goes. You can do any cut you want. I have had delicious chicken fried steak made with thinly cut ribeye. I've had delicious chicken fried steak made with filet and with strip. So it's really just a matter of what's available and what your budget tolerance is for the chicken fried steak. Okay, the first thing we want to do is season these pieces of meat pretty liberally. I've got a mixture that's a teaspoon each of salt, black pepper, and onion powder, and garlic salt. And I'm going to sprinkle this on here. Now, on closer inspection, I realized these flanks needed a little bit more attention. So I just took took a heavier mallet to them and pounded them out a little bit thinner. You're looking for between like a quarter to a half inch in thickness. All right, so I'm going to first of all crack a couple eggs into a bowl and whisk them together. These are beautiful farmer's market eggs, have that deep orange color. I actually got these from the same farmer who raised this beef. And then whiskey in a cup of milk. this will be our egg wash, part of the batter. Okay, the second component of the breading process is the dry piece. So here I have a cup of flour, I've got a pinch of sugar, a tablespoon of black pepper, and then I'm going to add in the remaining seasoning from earlier there, the onion powder, garlic salt, and black pepper. So for each piece of meat, I'll dip it in the flour, and run it through the egg, back in the flour, and then we'll let them sit here and dry a little bit. Okay, so I mean, I guess that's the hard part. It's not really that hard. I've breaded each of the steaks by dipping them in the flour first, the egg, then back in the flour, and then a couple secret tips here that we learned from the master is to kind of massage. You want to massage that seasoning and that coating into the meat a little bit. Like if you see a spot that's kind of looking like it's a little bit wet. Just kind of massage in a little bit more of the seasoned flour, and that helps the coating in here. If you've had more than 1 or 2 chicken fried steaks, no doubt you've experienced the phenomenon where the steak is inside just kind of sliding around in some coating, and it's really just not the best eating experience. By following this method of 2 things, one is kind of massaging the coating in, and then the other is kind of just let it sit there a minute, let it dry. It really allows the coating to adhere. And when we fry these up, you'll see very little separation. Well, no separation really between the coating and the meat. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of keep working on this. Let these sit here a minute, and we'll be back in a moment and meet you over at the stove to fry these up. I had these little baby trimming pieces that I also seasoned up, and these are going to serve 2 purposes. One is that they're going to just let us check to make sure our oil is hot enough, which it looks like it is, and also it's going to be a great appetizer and a cook's snack since we've been working so hard on this dinner. Alright, so our oil is hot, we've got our steaks ready, and I'm going to go ahead and put a couple pieces in. The main thing is you just don't want to overcrowd it. You need to do it either in multiple pans or multiple batches. And then if you're cooking for, like we have a couple friends coming over, you can cook and hold it on a pan in the oven. So, Okay, our steaks have been cooked, they're in the oven, and now it is time to do the gravy. We're going to do it in the same pan with all the same kind of goodies from earlier. A couple of tablespoons of the hot oil that we fried the steaks in. And then the leftover flour from the breading process. If you have any, I had to kind of amend this a little bit. So seasoned flour, hot oil, just basically making a roux.
Cheese your butt.
Y'all, we did it. We've made it to the final phase of tonight's chicken fried steak feature on our very special Academia Familia edition of Academia Live, tasting a favorite Central Texas staple chicken fried steak. If it's not the official just dish of Texas, it should be. We tried two different ones. Now, we usually do a cutlet, or we'll do like a thin sliced ribeye. A cutlet is what we have on Joe's plate. And then I have a piece of flank steak, which we've never chicken fried that before. So we're going to see how it goes. Joe, tell us about these incredible looking potatoes.
So these are mashed potatoes. You know, the thing about mashed potatoes is don't be afraid of salt and pepper. Don't be afraid of butter and usually milk or cream or something. These have cream. But I kicked it up a notch. A friend dropped off some home smoked Monterey Jack, and I threw that in there. So we'll see how that goes.
All right.
Chicken fried steak's next one.
The flank steak is awesome. Wow, you've outdone yourself with these mashed potatoes. Holy cow. They're like delicious mashed potatoes, and they're a little bit cheesy and smoky. I'm going to get a piece of the cutlet here.
Wait, what?
What? We're going to taste test.
Oh, okay. Well then, you know, that's what's going on here. I think you're just trying to steal my stuff.
That too. All right. Extra añejo Manhattan. This,
There we go.
This is
Chicken
good.
fried steak, yo.
You made a good drink, Joe.
That's the skills.
Joe did a 2-to-1 extra añejo Patron Manhattan with 1 part of Martini and Rossi. Okay, what's the verdict on the steak? They're both good. I think I know. I have a clear winner in my head. But I want to hear from you first.
Here's your deal.
Let's lay it on us. Which one's the best?
Texture-wise, I like the cutlet.
Mm-hmm.
Flavor-wise, I like this one because this has a like really like because this is like grass-fed
It's
meat.
really-
It has that really
yeah.
like earthy like meaty taste. So I mean,
I'm going.
but also like I really love gravy.
It's super delicious. Yeah, using the pan that you cook the steaks in to do the gravy, absolutely essential. You know, it doesn't look like the gravy you get in a restaurant, right? It's not white and speckly or whatever. It's what it is because it's.
You could have made some biscuits.
Yeah. I'm going flank. I think I'm going flank steak on this one. I don't know. You can't go wrong. So I'm just gonna keep eating both of them.
No.
Cheers, y'all.
Probably not.
Chicken fried steak, official-ish
Cheers.
dish of Texas.
See y'all later.
See you next week.